It looks good.
I want you to see Habitat though.
Um, Kinda. You might have to say habitat.
I see it.
Habitat.
I got
Habitat hat. Okay.
it. Oh, we live?
Yeah.
All right. I was doing my promotion for one of my organizations I always love and support.
Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, push it, y'all. They do some
I
great
like that.
things.
I like that organization too.
Yeah, they do some great things, man.
They do.
I enjoy what they do, and I was a member with Habitat for a couple of years, Habitat International. I still got my badge. I don't think they'd be able to let me up in the building anymore though, but I still kept it because I love working for them. So, with that being said, before we get started tonight, we will be discussing voting. Yay! I know y'all.
Yay!
I know y'all tired of hearing it right now. Everybody been talking about voting, but hey, we gonna run down the list too. But before I do that, I'll read the disclaimer. You are now tuned in to Conscious Community Connections, where we keep the community connected. This is 104.5 FM, Urbana, Champaign. Views expressed are those of the speakers and not intended to represent WRFU, UC, IMC, or Urbana Socialist Forum. Again, this is Conscious Community Connection. I'm TYgar M, or just TY. That's the beautiful Miss Alicia K, or just Alicia K. Now, what's your last name?
Where'd the K come
That's
from?
what I'm saying. I got the wrong letter for the last name. What we going?
It's
That's
it's it's W for
yep.
Williams.
Okay, Alicia W. She's super everything.
Where did the K? Where'd you come up with K? I
I
want to.
don't know. I don't know. I just K just popped in my head. I'm sorry.
It's probably because of Alicia Keys. Because everybody always says that.
Hmm.
Everybody says Alicia Keys. I don't look like Alicia Keys, but people always say Alicia Keys. I think it's because we just have the same first name. That's what
Okay.
it is.
I know y'all some incredible women, so I have no doubt
I
that
don't know
you.
Alicia Keys personally, so I'm gonna take your word for that.
Yeah,
I
I
know
know
I'm incredible.
you.
No,
I
I'm
know
just
you,
playing.
man. I'm scared.
Scared. Don't be scared.
Yeah, yeah. This girl ain't no joke, man. But we're gonna have this discussion tonight because we got a big election coming up, November the 3rd. I know everybody had heard about it. We're gonna talk about pretty much everything going on with this election, all the way from the celebrities. All these celebrities are pushing this thing now. I'm wearing my vote shirt over my shirt. So get out to vote. Everybody wants you to get out to vote. I hear a lot of young guys say, why it ain't gonna change nothing. I said, yeah, but sometimes you might just want to hold on to what you got too, man, till you can change it. But I think if it didn't mean anything, you wouldn't have all these different factions or groups trying to shut your voice up. Let's say that.
That's that's it. Don't ever
Yeah,
quiet your voice. That's
that's
the
right.
problem. That's the problem. When people opt out of
Mhm.
voting, then they are voluntarily quieting themselves
Right,
and their voices. And
right,
then, so then don't complain when you don't like things the way that they're going. Don't
right.
complain about it because you didn't do what you didn't speak up for yourself. So that's the problem.
And I'm glad you said that. We're gonna go into that too, what it actually is. But before we do, I want to lead off with um, let's see what's up. Let's see what's going on with this election and the whole process of voting. So
So
we do this national vote, the whole country do, all 52 states.
mm-hmm.
And so the public vote on usually November the 4th, they call it Super Tuesday. Uh,
Uh-huh.
be that first Tuesday in November. And then following that, after everybody votes, the normal, you know, Joe Blow, regular public, everybody do their vote thing on that day. then or handle their voting business. The following December the 13th is the Electoral College Day to vote. So
Mm-hmm.
those 2 days are very important. The Super Tuesday and then that December the 13th. But until
Mm-hmm.
then, the Electoral College don't vote. They do what's called a pledge. And we'll get a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get a little bit into that. So that's how the process works. Um, let's see. As far as African Americans, man, um, like they said, a lot of our people died for this opportunity that we got, this privilege. It's more of a privilege. And well, now, because it was a bill signed that allowed us to do this. But what we want to do is, I think, out of respect, I say we should honor that. But at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, um, we need to be mindful of who and what we're voting for, because it was for a long time we voted Republican. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for a long time, and then that sort of flip flopped and changed as different presidents came along. But I'm not going to get more into that. I want to get because we ain't gonna have a lot of time, and I think we need to do a whole his. We should go do that. Would be a good discussion. What happened and why we flip flop? Write that down, Alicia.
Well, I mean, I think that, well, because there's this perception that the Democrat Party is for more of a as more the liberal party and is for more of a justice and equality. Maybe so, but it wasn't always like that. So
Right.
when the KKK started, when they created the black codes and what
Well,
was it, the
that was
black
about
and
that
Jim
was
Crow,
about
that was the Democratic
that was
Party
the
that
Dixie
started
crack,
that.
right? That was the
Yeah.
Dixie crack. That's right. So,
So and then
mhm.
then yeah, then there's like a lot of history about how it kind of why we all of a sudden we have this perception of like the Republicans are more conservative than liberals. I mean,
Right.
I want everybody to understand that that is all propaganda,
Hmm.
and that is dictated the way that we look at each side, which party is more fair, which one isn't, the conservatives versus the liberals. If you ask me,
Hold on.
we
Hold
need
that
to.
opinion. Hold that opinion. I'm gonna get to that. Hold that
Okay.
opinion. I want it. I
Okay.
want that one. Hold that one.
Yeah.
So let's go back into the process. So the
Okay.
electoral colleges. Let's go into that because Trump actually, uh, Hillary Clinton had 3 million more votes than Trump,
Right.
right?
I mean,
But
yeah.
but
The
this
popular vote. She won the popular vote.
the popular vote, but this electoral college process um, allow him to get in. So how does that work, right? That's what I got really stuck on. Like, what you mean? How does that? Well, are you saying it don't count? So this is interesting. All right, the voting process. Think of it like, and I did, I was checking out this guy, then I went back and did some research on what he was saying. So the whole voting process is like innings in a game.
Mm-hmm.
So think of 52 innings, right? 80% of the states have this thing with the electoral process, with the electoral college, where winner takes all. So it could go 49-51, but winner takes all. And
Right.
then once you get, again, think of it like a game, like a baseball game or a World Series or something, or one of them games, best out of seven. Once you get so many innings already under your belt, it don't matter who comes on. That's why when California came on at the end of that last of Trump election, he had already had enough innings to say, "Hey, this game is over, y'all."
Right.
So you need 270 electoral colleges to win. Once that person, whoever comes closest to that number, to that 270, That's your next president, no matter what. You know. Now, the good thing, or I ain't gonna say good thing, but I'll say this: that they said that Biden has a strong electoral college right now already pledged. If he has about 160, that's strong before we even get in there and get started. That's very strong. That means all we just need to pick up a few more to get that 270. You got to get 270, right?
And ain't but I'm sorry, I'm kind of getting off of what you're saying, but it
Mhm.
really what flips me out about the whole electoral college is that ain't
Mhm.
nobody know who they are. No one knows who they are and how they get become a part of the electoral
Oh, I'm going to
college.
go into that. I'm going to go
Okay.
into it.
Do
That's
you know how to
what
do it? Because it's almost like it's okay. Unless you know some information, you obviously know some information that I don't know.
I found
Because
out
for the
from.
longest time, I was like, "What is this?
I found
What
out
type of
from.
what is
They
this? A
are
secret society? Why are
no, they
they
are ex
dictating the
lobbyists.
way?" Go
They
ahead.
are ex lobbyists. They are ex judges and other things that used to be in this area. So again, it goes back to what they always say: politics are local first.
So they're ex lobbyists, ex judges, people that used to
They used
be
to
in
be in
holding
government.
seats of power, and now they're. Oh, I mean, isn't that the way the KKK started?
Hey,
I'm just
hey,
saying. I'm just saying.
hey,
Like,
hey,
what is this not?
hey. I just, hey,
Am, I'm
listen,
trying to.
listen.
Am I weird? Am I
No,
thinking? Am I weird for thinking this,
no,
or is
no,
because
no,
it's
no.
just so
But it goes back to controlling your local. Because you see now, now we need to be watching these judges we putting in now. We need to be watching these officials we putting in here now, and the actual views. Some of them say Democrat. We saw that down here with a lot of stuff that went down with the prosecutor, but they
right,
act more like this, and that person will or can become an electoral college in this area.
right,
So here's something
yeah,
else I learned. Now they started the electoral college because they was trying to keep things balanced. Because most of your presidents early on came from states, with states, big plantations, things like that, where the power was at. So the electoral college was trying to balance out that power. Smaller
mm-hmm,
states have more electoral college than larger states. That's why
mm-hmm,
that's why Ohio and these other states like that and rural, they call them swing states, because they got more electoral colleges than a bigger state. Now
right,
you think more people is there. No, a smaller state has more electoral power than a bigger state.
right,
So that's why you see these campaigns going on in all these other smaller states. They talking about, well, he got to go here. You're like, why are you going to that little state over there? No, it ain't that many people because he's trying to get them electoral college votes. He's
right,
trying to get a group at a time. And he know if he could turn this group, he got another smaller state that got a chunk too. So they trying to
mm-hmm.
get chunks. Again, that's why I said it's a lot of crap I learned, and I'm sorry to say, and I'm not gonna go in there yet. There's a lot of stuff I didn't learn how this work, and I'm gonna give you the cue in a minute because it's coming. You already know, and I'm gonna let you tear it up. But so um, this was started again, like I said, to balance out the power because some of your strongest states were Mississippi, Louisiana, the southern states where they had more people, more plantation, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And these things flip, well, these, not things, but that flip a lot of power that way. It was so much power in the South and these other states over there, like Virginia and all that um, these were some powerful millionaires. I didn't know that. So
Mm-hmm.
this was done to balance that out. Is it needed now? I think it's antiquated. I think we need to do away with it or do like Maine. Maine is actually, and another states are doing this too. The electoral college has to vote like the majority of the people. I agree with that.
Why are they even in existence if that's what that is about?
Well, once something, I guess I can't say that, but I'm just saying once something usually starts in government, as you can see, is it kind of keeps persisting and persisting, especially if it's going to allow, let's say, the white European to stay in power. And
I just
again,
don't
I can
under
only
yeah, I just don't
agree.
understand still the whole
Mhm.
of them. Like I was saying before, that's how the KKK got started. There were a bunch of people that had power or at one point or was a part of the Confederate Army. They were like veterans,
Mhm.
and they just kind of came together and started something. That's just like the same thing.
Mhm.
Kind of like I don't know, understand it. Like
Okay.
I think it's important to make that connection because I think it's important that we need to realize our own patterns of behavior in
Mhm.
our government. This is
Yeah.
in what who is it benefiting?
Well,
Is
we
it
got.
really benefiting the larger population?
Mm,
Benefiting,
true.
and then maybe we need to. I think that it's that is also kind of connected to our understanding of what is considered liberal and what is considered conservative. You know,
Deep.
what do those really mean? Or what are the real? Because those meanings within, like they get
Mhm.
like my perception of what a conservative person is might be, or conservative standpoint might be different than yours.
Yeah.
Subjective to the individual. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's tied to the way that just the way that our our government has been our patterns behavior in our government and how it's been constantly it's we've been doing things over again and over again and over again, and we're trying to keep the same type of understanding of what is conservative and what is liberal, but we can't because that is subjective to the individual. And
Mhm.
as our history changes, our perception of things changes as well. Does that make sense? I just
That
ran.
makes sense.
Okay.
No,
You get
no, no.
what
What you're
I'm
saying is
saying?
real, man. Because you are like me and the rest of the public. We don't understand how the system works. It's a system within the system, and
I
there's
don't think it's
another
meant
system.
for us to really understand.
It's not.
I think that's part of it. That's what I was trying to say. Like there is some propaganda there where like conservatives talk poorly about liberals, liberals talk poorly about conservatives. But really, what it is that government is a whole. Don't care if you're this or that party or whatever. It's
Mhm.
a whole, and that whole controls us. So to
Mm.
me, it's like again, it's like both wings on the same bird is what what people have been saying. It's just
Yeah,
same thing, and
yeah.
so it's not so it's this like devices type of mentality. Like which party is better for the people? None of y'all are better for the none. There's not
Mm.
no none of y'all. None of the parties have been right.
Okay.
That's what I think.
I mean, I
Because there's
told
too
you.
much corruption in it. That's just government. Government's gonna have corruption.
I
So
told you. I want that opinion. Just hold it. Just hold it. You giving it up too
okay,
quick. I
okay,
want that one, but just hold it. You got to drag me along with this one. I'm holding. I don't want you to go yet with it because it's a reason why I don't. Because I know you going with it. Just hold on.
all
So
right.
with this electoral process, um, now that I got a little bit more understanding, I could see that like everybody keep talking about saying things like, well, we need to start our own party and all that, like Puff Daddy. We're gonna get into that too. It would be very hard to have a three-party system, I think, in something like this because winner takes all
Mm-hmm.
in this electoral process. So winner takes all, this is going to come down to just how it comes right now in the NFL. One of them things going to come down to two teams, and usually it's the two higher paid teams with a better quarterback or better whatever that's going to wind up at this race, and winner takes all. So I think we need to be mindful of how this process works. We're gonna have to get an understanding of the full process, and a lot of these celebrities are jumping in, and we're gonna get down that toward the bottom of the evening. But I don't think they understand what's really at stake. So, what's at stake with this election? Let me tell you what's at stake. Then, so we got this is a big election. So, what's at stake? For starters, more than 80% of Congress is up for election at this time. That is big. That is huge. And in the 35 Senate seats being contested, Democrats are on defense, trying to hold on their 24 seats. Pay attention to 11 close races. Some states, President Trump won big in 2016. A few GOP held seats that have become toss ups over the course of the campaign, including open seats in Arizona and Tennessee. So you got, now let me see, in the 36 governor's race today, it is the Republican Party on defense again, well, on defense at this time. Um, of the 16 closest races, 13 are held by Republicans, including in traditional conservative strongholds in Kansas City and Oklahoma. The biggest prize of this night, control of the House of Representatives. Of course, all 435 seats are up for election. Democrats need a net gain of 23 seats to win back the speaker's gavel. That's and why they want to win back that speaker's gavel is that's important. See, all this is up. We will be paying particular close attention to some swing districts. There are 21 seats that President Obama won in 2012 that flipped to President Trump in 2016, and 13 districts went the other way, voting for Mitt Romney in 2012. So you got, again, 80% of the Congress is up for re-election. And as you just saw what they did, right? They rushed that judge in, right? Kavanaugh.
Yep.
They rushed her in. So, and Trump been doing some very interesting things, man. So
Yes,
he's
he
putting
has.
in, he has placed over 50 judges in place. Because judges are in tiers.
Uh huh.
Now, the tier judges he placed in place are next in line. They could be chosen from and become Supreme Court, judges. Guess what? They all white males, young. So that eliminates a lot of, let's say, black females, Mexican females, black judges. They all white males, young, and once they appointed these things, that's for life. So he did see he's making these other moves here, man. That's what I'm saying. We got to get all this. It's a lot more than just uh, like one cat, and we're gonna get into it. Just talking about, well, he promised to give us money. No, man, they replacing all this, and then there's something else. This Supreme Court now is mostly Catholic. Catholics don't believe in abortion. You got a large Catholic. I
I thought there
mean,
was supposed to be a separation between church and state.
oh, we hear that, but hey, your beliefs still seep up in there. It's supposed to be a separation, but your beliefs are still your beliefs. So all this stuff, like, you know, all this stuff, it's a lot of material that could be challenged now.
So you can this is what so that's what I was saying. You just cannot say
Mm,
that one party has been better than the other because like
mm.
you just said, how is that possible?
Well,
When people's personal
well,
beliefs are seeping in and they're not being objective, therefore they're not being just, they're being just according to whatever personal beliefs they have, that it's not necessarily, you know, beliefs of, that's best for the people. It's like they're not being completely objective.
right, right.
Especially, and how can they be completely objective when you're, you know, when you have, you know, all the seats in the Supreme Court, they're all
Mhm.
pretty much the same person having the
Hey,
same views. I mean,
uh-huh.
people starting to look alike, even the same age range. I mean,
Yeah.
what I'm saying? How can you be objective and how can you make fair decisions without objectivity?
Well, it used to be like what 4 to 5 or something like that. Now you got mostly a right. a right wing uh, court. Now there is a move the Democrats can make, and I found this out. What up, Jay? I see you out there, brother. I don't know how to do this, but there's another move they could do. You could add another Supreme Court member. I didn't know you could have a Supreme Court. It don't have to be limited to this number. So Democrats are now getting ready to position themselves to make that move to try to balance this out. But once you make that court and you expand that court, that is until another, I forget what they call it. They have to pass a certain type of legislation to
Mm.
do this, and then it's there for a while, and then you can expand this thing out. But a lot of your laws are determined on the Supreme Court, the laws of the
Mm-hmm.
land right now. Roe versus Wade, all of the other laws, all this stuff is up. See, all these things. See, we keep thinking that. I think we got this thing in our mind that we keep thinking that you thinking that this can't change. This could change. This could change uh, very seriously. And oh, it has. It's getting there. Cause you see, when Obama was in there, they blocked Obama from doing a lot of this. And they even, who was that, Lindsey Graham, or not that other guy, that one with that mouth I hate. I don't even want to, I can't even think his name, man, but they was blocking that and they bragged about that. No, we
They
didn't let them.
were.
They
They
they blocked
were.
they blocked him from passing all of the judge. He didn't leave all them judge seats open like that on purpose. He was being blocked. Why was they blocking that? Because they knew already when they get in there, they are about to take it all. See, it's not so much about the president now. Now it's about getting the folks in there. So when certain laws and legislation they want to pass, guess what? They get bagged up. Just like right now, if this thing goes south, this man want to contest that. He could do that. That's what's so tricky about this election. And it go to that Supreme Court, and then we could be
Mm-hmm.
tied up for a while with this crap. So this is a big election. This
It
is
is.
really big, man. This is not no this is just not about no president. This is about the laws and everything you under. A lot of this stuff is done at the swipe of a pen. I mean, the fact that we get the opportunity to vote is voted on what, every 20 years? They vote on that every 20 years. How come they just didn't say, hey, when they freed them, they could vote now. If they citizens, no, they got to vote on that law every so many years. You know that vote,
Right.
they vote on that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what's gonna happen now then? See, and this going into, like I said, a lot of that. But I'm gonna get into that. I ain't gonna touch that now. But I'm gonna let you have it. So I'm gonna read
Well,
this. Go
okay.
ahead.
No, I mean,
Mhm.
if you would have answered this now or later, but what do you think the whole purpose of voting is for?
Hold that 1 minute. Hold that.
Okay.
Hold all that, boy, because you got some good stuff, man. Your part at the end is gonna be better than this. Trust me. You gotta. Ah, yeah, I can't wait to turn you loose.
Oh,
Um, okay, let's see what Biden is about. And I heard I was checking out. Biden is not about defund the police. In fact, he said that the police need more funding, but he need to be more regulated and transparent. We heard that before. That's the
like
same
a
thing.
trend, like a reform.
That's what I'm saying. Break that down because we didn't heard that argument before. Talking, they need to be more transparent. Obama ran on that too in 2008.
Will they
Uh,
change your laws and your policies in the with having to do with the police unions?
and then they go into that whole thing talking about what's that? We're gonna do more training. No, I think they trained enough. We got them overtrained, but um, so
I mean that could help. That could help. Um, maybe changing, maybe adding some stuff here and there that could help. But you know how long it would take to retrain all the police in the nation
and
and
these guys,
train them. That's almost impossible. But what you can do is that you can change the policies, some of the policies that they go by that stop them, from acting
What, shoot me in my
The
bed? Like,
law does it does they're exempt from the law themselves. I mean, that would, let's get rid of some of those policies.
oh, and you know what? We need to do a whole show on that because I just learned something about that. I got to finish doing the research, but how they getting off. So save that, write that down. You on
Okay.
some, you got some good points, man. I
Okay.
love this girl, man. I tell you, I love her. She is hot. She is a brain, man. Y'all just don't know. I love talking to her. But okay, so that's what Biden is about. Biden is also, let's see, he really, they not offering nothing. To me, the only thing they really offering, Biden seek to cast himself as a steady seasoned hand in a dangerous and uncertain world. So Trump is looked at as a wild card. Biden is trying to structure himself as I could stabilize this and make um, your reality a little bit more stable. I
Mm-hmm.
gotta admit, ever since this man has been elected, it's been one thing to the damn next, man. I'm telling you, I am tired. This has been a 4 year. This feel like 20 years with this one guy. I'm tired of seeing him always shaking them hands. I'm just tired. But let's see, Joe Biden. Let's see, path to 270. Voting deadline, early vote. Like I said, he really ain't offering much. Now he did offer something as far as Black America, because that's what I'm looking for. Like, what are you offering us? Because we did the whole thing voting somebody in, but and then it turned out that somebody looking out for everybody else, and then talking about some. Well, what do you want me to do? Nothing. But we gotta ask for what we want out of this thing too, and we need to be pushing our legislation what we want out of this. Biden is really pushing himself as opposite of Trump. Uh, he will reestablish the health care. He did say that, like, get that back in place again, or that Obamacare. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that ain't really the name for it, but a lot of people call it
Yeah.
that. He said he'll do that, and let's see, did it do? It's not much more. Uh, Not much more. Pretty much the same. Pretty much he'd go back into the same routine that they were doing before. But it was peaceful. That's all. Um,
It was a little more peaceful, I think.
yeah, a little bit more. It
A
was,
little bit more.
yeah, a little bit more
But
stable, man.
you
All these,
know, we can't do, like I said, like, it doesn't matter what party you are.
um,
There's always going to be some corruption within it.
yeah,
That's politics and that's government.
yeah.
You know, but I mean, really about if the people could start looking at it and seeing that it's really about what we want and what we're trying to work towards. We have enough power to do that. We just need to figure out how to utilize it, direct it right.
I think Bernie campaign had the best thing, man. He was telling you
I
what they
love
want.
Bernie. I was
Shoot,
hurt.
Bernie,
Two
Bernie,
two two times in a row he struck out. I was hurt. I was all about Bernie. All
yeah.
about him.
Oh,
Him and
that's
Elizabeth Warren. Oh my gosh! Like I can't. Them two together, man.
yeah.
Them two together. Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted Bernie spoke, but they start demonizing, talking about socialism and all that stuff. They use, I mean, we already in that. You already doing that now, but you doing it in a fascism way where you helping the corporations. But you can't tell that to, I don't want to I call them ignorant because you already in that state. I'm sorry, you just are. It's already
Mm-hmm.
a form of socialism. If a company of a big corporation could get all your money, and that corporation don't pay no taxes, but it take all your tax money, they already showed what Trump taxes was. He only paid what $750. Man, I paid more taxes than that, man. When I was
Preach.
16, working at Dora Lee over there in Hyde Park. So
I swear. I mean,
yeah,
I'm telling you.
that's supposed to be a billionaire, and that's all you paid. And then they see, but that's the same ones we talking about. Some they leeches on the system. They just want that welfare. See, that's the
Yeah,
people
right.
selling.
That's the people that are getting the welfare. Right
It's
there, the
like,
billionaires. They're the ones that get in the welfare.
Sell it. They not
But
talking about.
it's not. But it's not just Trump
Mm.
in the Republican Party. It's the Democrats too. Because when they're in office, they don't change that stuff.
Oh yeah.
They're also getting some of that welfare money too. So that's what I'm saying. If we want to make changes, we have to, as a people, say whoever's in office doesn't matter if you voted them in there or not.
Mm-hmm.
If you know if you voted them in there, then I'm hoping that you voted them in there thinking that they could help, change whatever you're wanting to change.
Right.
That's the reason why they're in there.
Right.
You
And
know,
they.
if somebody got in there that you didn't vote in, you then as part of the larger society, you need to be advocating in whatever shape, form, fashion for yourself, for your family, for people that you care about, because it does affect you. You
Mhm.
know, it
Right.
does.
Yep.
It will affect you, and and I think some people don't even recognize the effects of this stuff.
Hey, it's
You know,
gone. Well, that's your money because but they sell this to the average, I say, Caucasian guy. The first thing you tell me, we got to get them off. I want they on our tax dollars. Listen, only like I think it's less than what 5 cents of the. I don't think it's that. What was it? It was like almost less than 0.5 cents or some of the dollar goes toward feeding this little money they giving these women with these kids, man. That ain't no money. They can't survive off that. Your money is going toward corporations. Your money goes toward other states. They send billions to these states. India, you getting states over there. I mean, your money is going there. That's where your money is. But they would turn it and then blame it on that, and then they just lay and all that. No, man, your money is not going there. The rich are benefiting off this stuff. So
right?
let's
Yeah.
look at Trump's slogan. I'm gonna move this along because I want to let you rip. I can't wait to hear you rip.
Okay, hold on. We should probably do the disclaimer again.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll do it.
Okay.
Let me see. Before we do that, because Heather beat and killed us. You are now tuned in to Conscious Community Connections, where we keep the community connected. This is 104.5 Havana Champagne. Views expressed are those of the speakers and not intended to represent WRFU, UC, IMC, or Urbana Socialist Forum. Again, this is James TYgar, and I'm here with the world's greatest person here, one of the world's greatest person, Miss Alicia W. She is all around yes. That's all I can say, just all around yes. So whatever yes. As long as it's positive, yes. That's right, yes. And I want to turn this over to her. That's why I'm keeping my eye on the time because I want to give her time to really just let it go, boy, because she got some great points here. Um, okay, Trump's slogan. Hey Jay, we're gonna get you on. Don't worry, we see you, brother. And Eddie, I read what your comment is, and Eddie said the same thing
Mm-hmm.
that that money goes to the rich. And I'm gonna break something else down to you too. I found out before I read what Trump thing is, just like areas in Kankakee, uh, like out there Hopkins Park and those areas, they don't have any. They don't have any. They don't have like a police station there. A lot of things are not there
Hmm.
because big corporations took that over. They brought up a lot of that land out there in Hopkins Park and that little area. So if Pembroke, anybody know what I'm talking about that in that area, you know it's right off 17 in the back corner. The big corporations don't pay any taxes, so they lost a lot of their service. They have to depend on Kankakee and other services or the sheriff and them to come out there. They don't have any services. These corporations don't pay taxes, but they get all the benefits. Now, okay, now that's happening all over. That's not just happening there. That's happening all over. As more of these corporations buy all this land up, taking over these outskirts and these other little cities, you would go through these cities and you're like, what happened? They don't have any resources because it's not enough people there to pay taxes. such as for through the homes and things like that, in order to make these other services happen. But this is happening all over. So again, your taxes is not being taken by these little poor women, taking a few little measly $100 here and there. That is not taking none of the money. That
Yeah.
that money is gone. So
Yeah,
okay,
that's a lot of discrimination against
that's right.
women, single mothers,
That's
you
right.
know. Yeah.
That's right. So okay, Trump slogan: "Make America Great Again." He's about immigration, reducing illegal immigration, reform legal immigration systems. Let me see. President has taken steps to remake the legal immigration system, and that I think that's a travesty. What's going on down there, separating them poor kids from their
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
I can't believe this is happening now. It feel
It's
like
inhumane.
this is sad.
It's really, it's honestly, it's disgusting.
Yep.
How could you do that? It's a human being. Those are
Hey,
people. Those are people.
hey, yes, you know, it
Treat
is
them
what
like
it is.
animals. Treat them like animals down there.
Yep. So let's see, economy, lower individuals and corporate taxes. He lowered the corporate taxes, cut regulations, end trade deficits. Let's see, his administration has slashed regulations on the financial, agricultural, and energy sectors, among others, arguing that deregulation spurs economic growth. And it hurt the green industry a lot what he did. Manufacturing jobs have gone up under Trump, though there are signs the boom is slowing down. That's because we're going into a world, um, what a
I
whole
just
economy is about to slump. So,
and I just think it's really ironic still that he has companies overseas in China still.
hey,
I'm just saying. I just think that's really ironic. And
yeah,
and he's talking about creating jobs, and you still got companies over there.
I mean, yeah, but I ain't gonna say it right now. Okay, let's see. The coal industry is no longer shedding jobs after years of decline under President Barack Obama, though it hasn't grown as more energy companies shift away from coal. In late 2017, Trump signed into law, a Republican tax for reform bill that slashed taxes for corporations. Yeah, we said that high income earners and many middle class families. So he take a tough on crime. He take a tough stance on crime. You saw what he was saying that all the Democratic cities can't control the people and all that. You saw what happened with these last protests. They just went out there and after a while they started just snatching people up. So
Mm-hmm.
let me see. That's where he at. So on that note, I'm gonna say this. Then I'm gonna let you rip.
I don't know why you keep on saying that like I have something prepared to say.
I know you trust me, man. Off the cuff, you are even
I
dangerous.
don't even know.
Here's what I'm saying. It took me now. It took me, middle age to get to know how this thing worked. Why did it take me middle age to understand how to understand this or how this works? That's the question I gotta say. Because all I heard a lot when I was younger is go vote, you vote. But nobody ever said or broke this thing down that, well, it's an electoral process, it's this, it's that, you got to do this, and then. I don't think they understood it. They didn't understand all that because nobody or no one I knew that was around me understood. Now, my grandmother would go vote, my mother, my father, but did they understand this process? My father got like a fifth grade education. I don't think so. He don't get it, but he's from the South. He feel like that's his duty. He gonna do his thing, and he's a union man, so I understand that. But man, no, Why did it take me this long? How come this wasn't taught in the schools? Was it taught in the schools?
It was taught in the schools. I don't know, like when you were in school, but when I was in school, it
All
was.
right. What you trying to say?
I'm just that you're old.
Oh, no, you said when I was in school, it was dinosaurs, right? You said no, but go ahead, go ahead. I'm listening. Go
No,
ahead.
I'm not saying that. No, you're not that much older than me. I'm not saying that. But
Go
I'm just saying it. Yeah, like I think that I know for a fact when I was in school, I had to take the Constitution test and I had to learn about how a bill was made and how voting was a part of that process and helped push the bill through.
Mhm.
And then, we learned it again in high school U.S. government.
Okay.
That's still happening because my daughter, who's senior in high school, went through the same thing I did. So I helped her study for both the Constitution tests, and she learned, whatever. So they are teaching it. The
Mhm.
thing is that I think that depending on maybe it's depending on what type of family you were raised in. So say like your family doesn't really value education on politics. Maybe they're more of a like some a family that really values like religion or values the arts, but
Mhm.
not politics.
Right.
So I think it's important to note that when kids study what their family says is important, they retain it better.
So
Because
you
so
remember
I
reading
think
about the electoral college?
so yeah. Well, I mean,
Mhm.
there's I'm not gonna say that I remember everything either, but I know
Mhm.
I studied this stuff and I retained a lot of the information and remembered it. But that's also because I was raised in a family that I watched the 5 o'clock news every day with my dad. Like even when I was like in kindergarten,
Okay.
politics and current events were the topic at the dinner table. It was that's how I was raised.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I'm sure that's probably different from a lot of families. So I think that's the reason why I remember it all. But
But you knew about the electoral college and how this
I
worked.
did know a lot about I did know a lot about the electoral college. I didn't know actually how it was made up, but I did know about it and how it worked. And I did know about that.
Mhm.
But that's the thing though. Even though I forgot about a lot of the information because I can't remember everything,
Mhm.
it still is my responsibility to continue my education outside of school.
I agree.
So
I agree.
if you are now an adult and you don't know how this stuff works, that's on you. Nobody's stopping you from Google it. Okay, like
Yeah.
Google it. Everybody nowadays, most everybody I know has a smartphone.
Now,
Even some track phones are smartphones.
we didn't have
And
it in my day. We didn't have
right, right, right. It's different. It's different now. It was
we
different
wrote on
back
cave
then.
walls. We wrote on cave walls.
You talk about yourself now. Just let that know. He's talking
Yeah.
about himself.
Yeah, we used markers and wrote on walls. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
how
I
I got
mean,
my education.
but I'm just saying. I mean, everybody has a TV. Everybody has access to internet now. Uh, you know, you can learn it. So if you didn't learn it in school or when you were in school and you were studying for the test or you were in the government class and you blew that class off, that's on you.
Yeah.
And that's on you.
I mean, I learned about the three branches. I remember that on the Constitution because, executive branch and all that, and your
Yeah.
legislative branch. I learned about the three branches. So,
Right.
but I don't remember them talking about how this process works. See, now we getting into the nuts and bolts of it. And that's what happened with Al Gore, when he lost that race. And everybody's like, he won a popular vote, but he didn't win. What happened? And that's what started waking me up to this.
Right.
You
It's
know,
when
that,
and out with Al Gore.
That's right. That's what started waking me up. And
Yeah,
that's
I think a lot of people. Yeah, I remember a lot of people was that's when everybody started like, oh, what does that mean?
what is that?
You know?
How does that work? What you mean? Well, I thought y'all said we vote, and then that's it. How is this? Well, what's going on? So
Yeah,
you know, if you don't get it, you just don't get it. I mean, and nobody
but
breaking it.
listen,
Like you said, nobody.
learning about this is just as important and just essential in your life as learning how to read and write and
Mhm.
do basic math.
I agree.
This is how you live your life. These are the laws of the land. This dictates how you move.
Mm,
You get what I'm saying? It
yeah.
dictates how you move.
Mm,
You have to know this. Who does? Maybe it's okay for some people, but I'm not okay with not knowing who's controlling me. I'm not okay. I want to know
who's pulling your
who's
strings?
telling me how to live my life.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, who pulling my strings, man?
Exactly.
Right,
I mean, let's just be real. Who's the puppet master? Right.
right. It makes sense. I
Yeah. I
like
mean,
that.
wouldn't you want to know?
Yeah, yeah. I totally agree with you, man. And a lot of people have not. Who's that? Shaquille? Was that Shaq who said he just starting to vote? This is first time voting. Now this man got to be a millionaire. He just decided to vote. Mm,
It's just like, and when
mm.
I hear that, I'm just like, what type of privileged lifestyle did you live to where you thought that this doesn't affect you? Or, I mean,
Yeah,
especially as a black man, where have you been? Like, what galaxy have you been orbiting in?
yeah,
Or have you been that ignorant to where
yeah.
you didn't care about it? And why didn't you care about it? Because I mean, I don't know Shaquille's background, but I'm sure that he didn't grow up in some protected, safe environment his whole life. He wasn't sheltered. I'm sure he's gone through some stuff to where you thought that if you didn't vote, it didn't help you out. Well, so then that brings me back to the point I was making. You know, a lot of people feel hopeless
Mhm,
because maybe they did vote and nothing happened.
mhm.
Okay? So one, I want to point out that this it's a process. That
Right.
type of political change takes a long process. It takes endurance. So if you're gonna be someone who wants to be an advocate or a community organizer, or even work your way into being a lobbyist, that takes time and energy and a lot of sacrifice to do that.
Yeah.
Um, so it's not for the weak. So that is a process. So I think people might have got hopeless when they voted and things didn't turn out the way that they wanted it. Also, they voted for someone and then that person didn't do what they said they were going to do when they got into office.
Mhm.
Because again, like I said, we need to stop and realize that politicians, they're just people, and at the end of the day, they are caring about themselves more than everyone else.
Right. Right.
They are caring about their best interest. And when I say their best interest, it's what's pushing their political career in the direction that they want it to go into.
Wow.
We have to think about that. So stop thinking that one party is better than the other. No, it's not.
Mhm,
It is how, if we want Biden in office, then we put him in office.
mhm.
Then we put him in there with the mindset in how do we then now make him do what we want him to do? How do
Right.
we turn it to where he's our puppet? Because that's what it's supposed to be anyway. Like the people are supposed to be the ones that are making these calls.
Right.
You
Right.
see what I'm saying? That's
Right.
that's to me, that's what the whole thing about the whole importance of voting is. You're supposed to put people in office that will push your agenda through.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
well, why is there, how come most of the people out here are unhappy? Probably because most of the people that we put in office were hoping that they're going to be for us and they're going to do what they say they're going to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that Obama couldn't do everything he said he was going to do when they gets into office. It's impossible to do everything.
Yeah. Now he could
We're
have done
voting
it
them
for
in
4
there.
years.
We're voting them in there, thinking that having good faith that they know the core issues, the core
Mhm.
issue of our agenda, what needs to be pushed through, and that needs to be worked on the most. So maybe
Yeah,
don't get everything done, but at least get some of those core issues,
right.
you know?
Right, right. I agree. I mean, because like the first 4 years, Obama could have did a lot of this. He could have talked about reparations. I think that need to be on the table for us. Because anybody tell you talking about some, nah, that happened then. We're not just talking about cash. We got a lot of people still dealing with a lot of mental stuff. This trauma was passed down.
Oh,
Uh,
don't get me started on the rep. Look,
oh yeah, yeah. I want you to. That's what
listen.
I'm saying. That this see, we need if we're gonna have an agenda, we need to come up with it and then
But
go.
we still need to have it right. But we still need to do our research.
Yeah,
Stop educating yourself on
yeah,
who you're trying to put in office to make sure that they're really for your agenda.
that's right.
I mean, we're talking about reparations. Do we know what Kamala Harris thinks about reparations?
Mhm.
Look that up. You'll be surprised what
No,
she
I
says
want you to
about it.
tell her. Go ahead. This now. This is when you feel it.
She did an interview and she
Mhm.
talked about reparations and her idea of reparations. And she pretty much was saying what helps, we're talking about giving reparations to the disadvantaged, the disenfranchised people of America, United States.
Mhm.
She's talking about a bigger population. She's not necessarily talking about reparations towards African Americans,
Yeah, descendants of slaves.
reparations for the disadvantaged. Hold on.
Mhm.
The Native Americans are disadvantaged and they had their reparations, but we didn't get none of that.
No.
Uh, the Jews got theirs.
Oh wait, hold
None of
on,
that.
wait. Go back even further. When they released those slaves, they got paid for that.
They gave it to the slave owners.
Slave owners got reparations. You
So
didn't.
why
Uh,
she telling us that we should share our no.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's her. And it was a study done that if they would have kept under that martial law, the 40 acres and a mule, that would have translated to trillions of dollars back into the community. Then that was taken away. So we reparations should be on this table. I don't care what nobody say, and it's not just about cash either. It could be you.
It's
It was
about justice.
about
It's just
justice. It's about
yeah.
re-education, bringing back these families, rebuilding these communities again that was torn down continuously all the way up until when they was doing mass incarceration. These communities were destroyed. Drugs were who was that? Ollie North. He was caught. They that whole Rick Ross thing that everybody talking about. That guy who wrote that book, Dark Alliance, who wound up
Mm-hmm.
mysteriously dead, told how crack made it into them communities and it was financing this war. So I that was done. I saw that right there for my own eyes in Robert Taylor on 43rd of those drug wars and kids getting shot. And still today, what you think is pushing this right now? So that need to be on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take that off the table. And a couple other things, and then it was a couple of things said like I heard it was one speaker. I'm trying to remember who that was. Was that Killer Mike? Just talking about even if they gave back the rights and ownership to the music that these young men made will put millions of dollars back into the community because there's ways they could do this without cash that will flip that back. Help them with them student loans, get rid of that and then put them in and come, help with housing, restructure these communities to stop this violence because this violence that's going on is only a result of a lack of resources. So these things need to be talked about. But if nobody talking about them again, and nobody putting this man, he don't have to talk about it because all Biden is just saying, I'm not Trump. I won't take this away or that. So it's off the table, and everybody like, what happened?
That's great that you ain't taking things. Okay, could you add stuff?
Yeah,
And
add
could
something.
you add what is really being asked for? Again, it's those core values of whatever agenda we're asking for, we're trying to put in place, or is he going to promote those core values? Whose agenda is he really for? Is what I want to know. I'm not. Look, I vote for Biden because I feel like he's a
Lesser
lesser.
two evils.
Yes,
Lesser. Yeah.
yes,
Well, you
but
know,
I'm not happy with it.
but
We
he's
deserve
neoliberal.
better.
You know
We
a
deserve
neoliberal.
better than this. You
Yeah.
know, and if we want to, if we're really talking about equality and justice here, we need to do some radical changes and do things that make things equal.
Mhm.
Like you're saying,
Yeah.
yeah, do things that fund more housing, do things that to start a restructuring here. Yeah, you know, let's give justice out here. If reparations is gonna make things just, do that.
That's right. That's
Do
right.
it. But but people ain't scared to do stuff. They
Mhm.
don't want to do it because it won't benefit them.
Right.
Because every politician has their own personal agenda. And you got to think about
Mm.
that. Is it their personal agenda to really help out the black community? Is it
Well,
going to benefit them? Will it really benefit what they're trying to do?
mhm. Um, I'm gonna
I
read
don't
this.
know. I don't, and I don't. I'm not really sure because the last time I checked, this whole country, this whole existence of this country benefited from black people getting messed over.
Oh yeah.
It
Oh,
started
you've been
out
to
like that.
Israel.
It started out like that. I'm just saying. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. It started. You don't believe me? Google it. Research it. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Out there. This ain't no secret.
I
You,
gotta read the disclaimer. You ready?
oh yeah, go ahead. Read it.
Because you was getting into it, boy. I like
My
when
bad. Read it. Read it.
you just war. That's why I said I'm gonna let you rip. I'm gonna let you, man. Let me read this right quick so you can get back. Hold on. You are now tuned in to Conscious Community Connection, where we keep the community connected. This is 104.5 FM, Urbana Champaign. Views expressed are those of the speakers and not intended to represent WRFU, UC, IMC, or Urbana Socialist Forum. I'm here with the wonderful Miss Alicia. She just getting warmed up, y'all. I ain't. That's why I kept trying. I was like, let me get this in and just get this out and let you go, because she is about to go in. I'm telling y'all. Y'all better step back. This is where y'all need to take notes at, man. I'm telling you, this girl is unstoppable.
Oh.
You know, we were talking about, some things that need to be back on that table, and we need to demand them. Either one get in, they need to be demanded and pushed, because reparations, I'm a big proponent for it, because and it's not just about cash. It's things you could do as far as even giving tax breaks on one side to certain individuals. You do that already to individuals that come over here and set up a gas station from overseas. Why not do that with the black people? Why not give that tax break to them? See, it's the, and then you hear, and I talked to some black people. This was before a lot of this, all this giving all this free money out, and they was just printing money happen. They can't do that. They ain't gonna be able to give all that money. They gave out billions. No, they gave out trillions of dollars. Let's get this right. And they're about to do another trillion. So don't tell me what they can't do and what they can print up as much money as they want. They doing it. And
And
guess
we
what?
don't.
But guess who getting it? All the big companies and corporations. So don't
We're
tell
the
me what you can't do,
we're
man.
the taxpayers. That's our money, and we don't have any say so
Yep.
how it is allocated out here.
Yep. They didn't give them
How it's
students, all them students, they could have gave all them students back then a break. So I don't want to hear what they can't
there's
do.
right,
I'm not hearing
right.
that, man. That's crazy. You see what they can do. They could print all day.
Mm-hmm.
Now will the dollar crash? Hey, it's good. They print already. So
Look, you got all these smart people out here. All these
yeah.
people that understand our stock market, that understand our financial situation. We have all these people out here. You telling me they can't figure out how to make this work?
Yeah, ain't nobody listen to that. They could print all they want. They've been doing QE, QE1, QE2, QE3 under Obama. This is still going on. Quantum economic easing. You need
Mm-hmm.
to use this to pump in trillions of dollars back into the system in order to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Now that money goes to the top. Why don't you help the bottom? You know who got helped out with all them bailouts? The banks got bailed out
Yeah.
from 2008. But guess what? The banks got paid for those bad loans. But guess what? None of the people got help with those loans. But the bank got paid for those loans, and the bank still went back and want payment for those loans.
Yeah.
So who who's the
They
sucker?
still took your, they still took people's houses.
Yeah, they still took the house, and
They
then
still took your
they still took it, and they got paid for it. Come on, man. Y'all suckers, man. I'm done with this. Y'all, I'm just tired of all this stuff, man. I'm not playing with it no more. I just come straight out and say, nah, man. Nah, you can't. You can run that game to somebody else, man. Don't tell me that because I know they could do this. I know they doing it now.
we just
Mhm.
to recognize what we're seeing, call a spade,
All a spade, a spade.
and then vote to make a change. You know, but that's this is part of the game. You realize we have to work harder, work harder, work harder, work harder. We're still not, we're making money, but I don't know about you, but I'm always feeling overworked and underpaid. But it's like, so when you're working that hard, you don't have time to sit back and think about this stuff,
Right, right.
and just the thought of, and if you were to sit back and think about it, just the thought about, well, okay, this is really how it is. I don't even want to think about the reality of it. It's too
Hey,
depressing. Or how do I fix it? Now you're overwhelmed with the
well,
thought of, yeah. So
it goes back.
it's an endless cycle.
It goes back to voting right people in, like you said earlier. We got to start on local levels. We need to look at, what district you live in. Who's over that district? Um, what's the senator for this area? Do you know these things? Who you write to as your legislator? Who is your legislator in Congress that's here? So we need to know these because now it's time for us to become conscious on that level because
Yeah.
now the fight is about to escalate. Now we're about to get into, once you woke, ain't no going back to sleep. And again, I'm not hearing what you can't do. I know you could do it. You just don't want to do it. But
You
this
just have
time,
to, you have to take just the time to do it,
yeah,
and it's really about, you
they
know
don't want to take the pressure off the people, man. For some reason, they want to keep the pressure on the people. So then when the people start breaking, like they did out here, now they want to pass all this legislation to lock you up. United States lock up more people than China, almost China, and we don't even have as many people as that. Why are you locking up this many people? This is a turning into a police state, basically. And they make money off you. Now, you want to go back into some, check this out. Out there in California, where Biden's running mate is from, those guys go to jail, and they once they're in jail, they could become a firefighter. But once they come out of jail, they can't become a firefighter and get paid right because they got a criminal record. Well, why are you letting them fight a fire now while they in jail getting that free labor? See, that's that slave thing. Slavery never
yeah.
ended. It never ended. It only transformed. It came under another name. Michelle Alexander book spoke that. It's levels in the society. There are 20 different levels. Slaves still exist.
Yeah.
You know, it still
Yeah.
exists. All them slave codes and all that other stuff they pass, and we just coming out all this three strike law crap and all this stuff. It's still here. They getting free labor out of you cheap. Why don't you end the pressure? And the people need to be asking that question. It's
I
time
mean,
now to see what these cats are on. Just because
yeah.
you're a liberal, are you a neoliberal? Now,
Right.
neoliberalism is more Republican or not conservative, is more like a conservative than liberal, neoliberalism is different from a regular liberal. You got to learn these differences now. You know,
Right.
the extreme it's two sections in both parties. You got this, you got the mid conservatives, then it's got this extreme version. You got this mid liberals, and you got this extreme version, but they pushing these agendas. So, like I said, man, it's a lot to take in. We already under pressure, and they don't want to lift the pressure off. So, if you don't lift the pressure off, something's gonna break. That's all, you thinking you seeing riots and all that thing, and all them people out there in California, all that housing, and they can't afford it. And I see women and kids sleeping on the street. That's some dog stuff, man. What's going
Yeah.
on? But it is
Yeah.
what it is. So
Yeah.
I don't know how much time we got. Um,
We got a few more minutes.
okay. Well, I'll just read this right quickly then.
Yeah, we got about like 15 more minutes.
15 more minutes. Okay. Well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
just read this right quick then. So early voting already started here in this county. You can vote now over there at the Brookings building. Let's say that you can vote
Mhm.
over there. And what you need to bring if you're voting in Illinois, you don't need to provide an ID to vote. You just tell them your name and that. If you're a first-time voter who registered by mail and didn't provide your driver's license number, state ID number, last four digits of your social security number, or a copy of a current ID or government document that shows your name and address. Let's see, when you register, you'll need to provide one of these when you vote. Let's see, you can use one, a copy of a current and valid photo identification. Two, a copy of a lease or a contract for residence, student ID, and mail address to your residence. Or three, a copy of a current utility bill, bank statement, government check, paycheck, or other government documents that show your name and address. Voters without ID. If you are unable to provide ID, you will be able to vote a provisional ballot. After voting provisionally, you will be told how to submit additional proof of registration to the election authority. And that's Mr. Amons, Aaron Amons.
Mhm.
That's who's over all this. So, and they got a show coming on. I
Mhm.
posted on the site, so you definitely want to sit in with Aaron Amons and listen
It's
to
on the
what he.
20th. 20th?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you
Yeah.
definitely want to sit in and listen on that. Aaron can explain a lot of this. Let's see. Let's see. To register in Illinois, you must be a citizen of the United States, be a resident of Illinois, and of your election precinct at least 30 days before the next election. Be at least 18 years or older, cannot be serving a sentence or confinement in any penal institution as a result of conviction of any crime, not claim the right to vote. But if you're out, you're already out of the system, you can vote no matter what you was charged with. Once you're out, you can vote. So don't listen to that talking, oh, I got a felony, I can't vote. Yes, you can, you can vote. So that don't fly either. I got a question.
Say that one more time. Say that one. I want to make sure the people in the back hear that. Say that one
Okay.
more time.
Okay, if you do got a felony or something like that, you can vote. Once you're out of the system, yes, you can. So don't let anyone tell you cannot vote. You could go over there in Illinois, you could still express your right and make your voice be heard.
In the or in the state of Illinois,
In the
you
state
can
of
vote if you
Illinois,
have a felony.
yep, and Mr. Aaron Amons, he gonna really go into that. Um, I wanted to get him on the show, but since they got that show, he got this. I know Aaron is going
Yeah.
to really get y'all into it. So I encourage everybody to listen to that show. I wish I had the flyer up right now so that you could go to it, but I did post it. And we'll post it on the Conscious Community Connection, so you could go there and get that information. I think is when is registration over? Is it already over, or they
For
still got?
what?
There's still time to register to vote, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, because that ends
I
as you
thought
get
it.
closer to that election.
I
So
thought that ended like last month at some time. I
um, I
don't
got
know.
I got to look that date up again, but I know it's coming up real soon. So
Well, even if you miss the registered date for this election, I mean, register anyway because your voice can be definitely heard 4 years from now.
man, register. Yeah. Okay, I got to ask you a question. Now here you go. I'm going to let you
Oh,
rip on this.
here we go. Okay.
So, your man Ice Cube got, I think he had a meeting with Trump, and I guess he got duped or tricked into something here. But from my understanding, what was it, $500 billion on the table to the black community? What do you think?
I mean, tell me about it. You tell me about because I don't know about what Ice Cube did. Tell me
Oh,
about.
okay. Okay. Well, he had a met with him, and I guess some type of deal was struck. And he was saying that Republicans offering more this time around, and we should be considering this. Do you think that's a good idea to try to make a deal right now with Trump, or do you think that he shouldn't have met with him to try to hammer out some type of deal for us? Now, what I did find out too is that the Democrats did reach out to him, and he turned that down. I didn't know that. Now I found that out that they reached out to him, and he turned that meeting down.
Reached out to who? Ice Cube.
Yeah, to meet with him to see what his discussion is, because he got a whole political stance on this.
So they reach out to him first.
Well, yeah, to have a meeting and see what he's discussing, because he put up a whole he wrote out a very thought provoking piece, that really made you think that should we be voting one party all the time now, or is this time now to look at each individual, or instead of looking at the party, look at the individual?
I mean, I agree with that.
I
Like,
agree with that too.
I mean, like I said, every politician has their own individual agenda of where they're pushing their career, what direction they're pushing their career in. You got to
Right,
make sure that politician is you got to look at what they're wanting to put, what direction they're pushing their career in, and think about, is that the direction that you're wanting the country to go in, and as far as like voting. Now,
right.
I mean, as far as him taking a deal with Trump, um and not the Democrats, um I would like to know what the Democrats were proposing to why
Mhm.
he felt like he needed to turn that down, and that Trump's deal was more enticing than the Democrats.
That's a
um
good question,
that's
man.
what I would want to look at.
Yeah,
And do I think right now would be a good time? Yeah, I mean, why not? Trump is out to try to make himself look like he's not a racist. He's
right.
trying to make himself look like he cares about everybody else besides himself. So yeah, and yeah, it's an opportunity to take. Just because Trump is I think Trump's a narcissist, and he don't really care about anybody else but himself in the world.
Right,
you know,
right.
so as long as Ice Cube knows that, but it's going to take the opportunity. And if he's smart enough and he knows how to play this game with Trump, I think that it's a good idea. The only thing is that I would make sure, of course, because I'm sure he's not, he's smart enough to do this. Make sure everything is very clear and in writing, clearly stated.
Man, I'm
Because I mean, if there's a
this dude
loophole,
here. This
you
guy
know.
here. Trump don't even pay his bills. He get out of. I don't know.
But that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though.
He
Trump is
don't pay
allowed to be
shit.
that way because he has money for people
Yeah,
that he has around him that are smarter, that fix his problems.
yeah.
He's had people mopping up his mistakes. His daddy used to up his mistakes, and now he's got smarter, educated people around him that mop his mistakes up that he pays. You know
Yeah,
that. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
Trump can do that
yeah.
because he's protected in that way.
Personally, I would not be dealing with this dude. This dude is dangerous to me
I
because
heard that.
he's dangerous because he's making a move, like I said, um, for that whole Supreme Court. He's making other moves behind his door. He's to me, he's dangerous. He is. I don't think $500 billion. Uh, Man, you put $900 billion on the table. I would not trust this dude. Everything
Yeah,
he say, he flip flops on. He don't
I
come
hear
through
that.
his
That's what
word.
you
I
gonna have
wouldn't
to have
even.
something. You gonna have to have something like ironclad.
I mean, ironclad. You
Just
gonna
you can't. You have to be lawyered up. Make sure every whatever contract, right? Because he'll find a loophole. Look,
you sure will.
if Ice Cube is smart enough to play that game, I'm not gonna say I'm like you. I wouldn't be messing around with that.
We'll mess around with
But I
these
mean,
dudes.
if
Personally, I don't think we are educated enough at this time to get ready to make these type of deals with these devils. That's just how I feel. Because you see, they got too many tricks as far as like you say with the pen and all these little what they say legalese. You see
mm-hmm,
legalese and Ed, we see you up in there, man. I got you, Eddie. Eddie on there, he put on there some of that 13th Amendment. These
yeah,
brothers always use legalese. They broke every treaty. They did with the Indians. I don't think we're ready to play with this trickster here right now. We gotta we straightforward and come from the cup. And yeah, we some survivors. This dude is dangerous, man. I mean, we are. It, I don't know. Anybody read Mein Kampf? Because a lot of these movies,
yes, I
yeah.
did. I read that.
Okay, this is move for
I
move.
read that.
There's nothing
Yeah.
personal here. This is all move for move for me, and this dude scares the hell out of me because he's making these types of moves here, man. And you
People
know,
should read that book, Mein Kampf.
hey,
It is the autobiography of Hitler.
yeah,
It is
man.
very interesting.
Yeah, he talked about how he discredit the news people and all that. It's move for move, man. It's no originality here at all. So, I
Right.
mean, I already knew he was going to go for the legislative branch. That's the same move they did. The Nazis, when they started moving in, then all of a sudden you go from to a whole different type of government into a fascism. Man, this is move for move. This is scary. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't be trying to make no deal with this trickster. You not ready for that yet. You not, you. I don't think you learned enough. You just getting into the whole system of trying to figure out how this thing works. Like I said, yeah, I took that Constitution, but shit, that time, man, I was so tore up half the time. I don't even remember taking it. I
I mean, it
probably,
was a long time ago,
yeah,
and but I mean that's how it is. Like our education system isn't, I don't believe, adequate in a lot of ways.
right,
However, it you're still being taught something, and it's still your responsibility to study it, learn it, pass the test. And if you forget the information, then it's your responsibility to go back and reteach yourself that,
right,
or to learn more in depthly about whatever you were taught. Okay, and you need to do that because the education system is inadequate. It doesn't teach you everything that you need to know.
hmm,
Okay, it doesn't. You know, it doesn't teach you everything that you need to know. Like that you need to know as far as government, as far as what this country is really about.
yeah,
You know, it does teach you reading and writing and math. It does teach you that, but true understanding of like the true understanding of like our language and where it comes from, that type
mhm,
of history, it doesn't teach you all that,
yeah,
you know
yeah. It don't.
that the deeper type of learning and information.
Mhm. Or how these tricksters work. We dealing with some real tricksters here, man. You know what this remind me of? Uh, They always have a movie. They always, you ever see one of the movies? They had a dude sell his soul to the devil, and he'd be like, "I want to be rich." He talking about just sign right here.
Yeah.
So the guy be rich, and then later on he find out it be something else that he wasn't ready for.
I
He's
love those movies, like The
yeah,
Devil's Advocate.
yeah, and he talking about, so
Yeah.
what you mean? Then he get rich. Then he talking about, well, what happened to my girl? And oh man, since you rich, we had to let all that go. And you like, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet, but man, it's something up with this kid. I don't think we not on that level yet. We not on that level as a trickster. It takes a devil to know a devil. I'm sorry. You want to fight, you bring your monster to the fight. You need monster to fight a monster. That's what you need. You don't go in there with no little cute cuddly bear. You need another beast.
We're not on that level because we lack
You
the
not
insight in in the education of what's really going on in our government.
Yeah,
And they
you
wouldn't
too
tell us that.
straightforward. You
Why
not
would
really.
but why would they? If we knew, then we would have the power to say what we want and they would have to give it to us.
Right.
You know? So they're not gonna tell us that.
I mean, hey.
I mean that's just real.
But
That's how it goes.
but
Look.
mm,
I couldn't be a politician. I couldn't do that.
no, okay,
No,
yeah,
I could not do that. Uh-uh.
yeah,
That is an mm.
yeah. Well, all I can say is, hey, once we advance to that level of trickster, um, I hate to say it, then I think we're ready to negotiate some sort of real deal one on one. I don't think no one on one you should be doing that. I think that need to be done with the professionals and you sitting back with them and hey, what does this mean? Because it might read this way, but then it has a totally different meaning on the back end, and you like, oh, loophole. So
Right. And
yeah, then we be ready.
I'm sure Ice Cube will probably do something like that. I mean,
Also, I
but
would
I
not be
mean, we got
either. I
but
would.
you know, I mean, I'm what did you say? I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
I would not be trying to meet with them devils one on one like that. I would be out if I go, like let's say we're gonna go. I want some political savvy cats. I want some cats who understand that double talk. You know what the Indians say? He speak with forked tongue. I need somebody who speak forked tongue. It come out this side, it mean this, but on this side, he like this is really what he's saying.
I think Trump doesn't mind doing business with people that he thinks that he can easily manipulate. Um,
Yeah.
like Kanye West. I think he had no problem
Oh,
sitting down and meeting and talking to Kanye because, I
yeah.
mean, clearly at that point, Kanye was very easy to manipulate. I mean, he's done business with Kim Kardashian, in which she's been able, and I'm not going to say anything bad about this,
Yeah.
um, because at least she was able to do something
Yeah.
to get some people out of prison. I
Yeah.
mean, good for her for doing that. Here's the thing though. Why was she the one that was able to do it? There's completely many other qualified
Mhm.
advocates, lobbyists, lawyers that are fighting for the same thing, but
Mhm.
for some reason, her voice was the strongest.
Look who she
I,
bringing. Look who she bringing. Look who follows her. You see her. You be on her social media.
I just want to say this. I just want to say this. You don't have to have a fake booty to get stuff done. You
Mm,
don't have to do that, but because that's
mm,
what she's really promoting,
yeah.
like that's what she is, and she took that all the way to the White House and got stuff done.
I ain't mad at her.
I'm not mad at her for getting
I'm
it
mad at her.
done. No, thank you for doing that. However, come on,
Yeah, I'm not mad at you.
that's not come on, but come on, seriously, like that's not fair. That's the only way you're
Yeah.
gonna get heard.
So
That's
you
not
saw
cool.
Kanye ad. You saw his ad, and he's also running. He wants you to write him in certain states. You saw that, right? He got an ad. He actually got an ad out.
Didn't he do a political campaign in like South? in North Carolina or something like that.
Yeah, man, he got an ad out in certain state where he saying you could write. He talk about you could write me in like this. I think that's to pull the votes away because again, winner takes all. Electoral college again. It's very hard to have a three-party system in an electoral college uh, system because it's going to come down to two majors. It's always going to come down to two majors. That's why all this when they was trying to run a lot of these third parties, that stuff. I mean, it's going to come down to this. It's going to come down to two majors. So you're going to have to work this out. But he got to
Yeah.
add Puffy talking about starting a third party and all that. And I saw Snoop, he was doing his thing. So you know, these celebrities, you know, a lot of them are maybe paid. You know, I'm pretty
Well,
sure
okay. Well, Tiger, I'm sorry to cut you off, but we're
we
over time
are,
anyway.
we out. Hey, again, let me read this. I enjoyed it, man. I give it Alicia, man. This started going all over. All right, y'all. Again, you are now tuned in to Conscious Community Connection. Where we keep the community connected. This is 104.5 Urbana Champaign. Views expressed are those of the speakers and not intended to represent WRFU, UC, IMC, or Urbana Socialist Forum. Again, I'm here with the intelligent, elegant Miss Alicia W. And you got James TYgar in the house. That's TYGAR. Transform your goals in reality. You know, I gotta always market myself. You know, James is the man, but TYgar is the brand. Remember that. So uh, we got to get this out. You know, again, we try to get information out to make you make better decisions. And I tried to keep it on a level. You know, where two
We're over time. We're over time. A whole minute and 52 seconds.
we out.
54
Peace,
seconds.
y'all. Have a great day.
Bye. Thanks for coming.